In this section on fluorescent lighting, we're going to learn how to match with fluorescent overhead lights. So we're going to use our own lights, our own tungsten and fluorescent lights, and we're going to gel them to match with these overhead lights that are in the studio. We're going to go ahead and move this gray background over to the left side of the studio right here, so you can see where the overhead lights are right above it. And the reason we're moving it into that position is we want to try to get as much of that overhead light on the background as possible, so that we can try and attempt to match with those overheads using our gels and our lights as much as possible. Let's go ahead and watch and see what happens.
Okay, we're good.
So let's lower it again.
Let's stop it there.
Yours is lower. Mike, yeah, yours is lower. Go up a little bit. There, right there. No, come back down a little bit. Right there. You got it. Lock it in. Okay, Ivan, let's go ahead and bring some of these Divas up here.
Great.
So that we can key with the Divas. Okay, we're going to go ahead and use both the Diva and the 650 with the Shimera side by side. We're not going to turn them both on. We're just going to show how they differ one from the next in color temperature. So we're going to just set them side by side, but only keep the Diva on for now.
Going hot.
Yeah. As you can see, we're extremely hot here. It is very hot in the studio, and we're going to have to buy an AC unit here pretty soon to cool this place down.
But that's the advantage of Keno flows, they don't get as warm as tungsten lights do. So that's why if you are working in very small areas or in conditions that people might not be professionals, such as interviews, if they're not used to hot lights, you might want to rent Keno flows to do interviews with people who are business professionals or other interview subjects.
I just wanted to say a word about fluorescent bulbs that are being used in these Diva lights. Right now you see the ones that have the blue markings in there right there. That means that they're daylight balanced, 5500 degrees Kelvin, intended for matching with daylight sources, for instance, either HMI or with window light or with sunlight. What we're going to do is we're going to swap them out with the ones that are badged red or say 3200 on them. Like these ones are the generic ones and they say Cinema 32 on them. That means 3200 degrees Kelvin. They're made in Great Britain and they're not made by Keno Flow, so they don't have the red marking on them or the red badge on them. All these bulbs are U-shaped. It's like you took a regular fluorescent bulb that's straight and you just bent it around into a curve, and they're all 55 watts. So they put out a lot of light, but at the same time they're only 2 feet wide. So you put your thumb down there and that'll pop it right out, and then you pop it out the other end too out of that latch.
Striking.
Right.
Happy then.
That would be the 32s. So we have 3200 degrees Kelvin tungsten balanced bulbs in there right now to match our other studio instrumentation. And set it up so we can start looking at it with a monitor, and we'll calibrate the monitor.
Sweet.
Did you get something?
It's here. We use you guys. This is very
Okay. So we have gone and purchased a air conditioner unit because we're dying over here.
It's not that bad. I mean, they didn't have anything. The only thing that happens at 15,000, that was like 100 or something, or more.
Exactly. Can you close that door?
Yeah.
Thanks. Going into this bucket right there. We have our two engineers working on the fan speed and the temperature.
That's it.
It's going to take it a while to really get going.
Yeah, plus it, yeah, just open.
It's just so hot in here, dude. It's like 100 degrees probably in here. So now we're going to go ahead and spike the positions of the chairs so that we know exactly where everything is in case the chairs move a little bit. Let's do his too. Okay, let's also sandbag the chairs so that it's harder for them to move. Cool. Oh, you know what? Let's close that door because it's making a lot of blue light. Okay, so now we can see this yucky blue light over here. So let's do a white balance now. So this is a shot with just a fluorescence. Now let's go ahead and we have to use 12 decibels of gain right now in order to get the shot the way it is right now because there's just not enough light. This is just with those fluorescents up there in the ceiling and none of our studio lights are actually on right now. So if you walk into a situation like this and you have these fluorescent lights, that's what your shot's going to look like. So let's go ahead and come down to 0 decibels of gain. Okay, so that's 0 decibels gain. That's what we're going to end up is just with this shot. Yeah, it's really, really dirty, isn't it? It's dark. That's with no gain whatsoever. So let's go ahead and turn on our main Diva light.
With 0 dB. Striking.
Okay. That's our main Diva light. So now we see that the color temperature has gone really, really yellow because the Diva light's operating at 3200 degrees Kelvin, whereas the overhead fluorescents are actually operating at about 4400 degrees Kelvin. So, and we also notice that we have a lot more light now that we have to change the exposure to make sure that we're not losing any of our highlights right about there. So what we're going to do is Ivan is going to go ahead and put some 8th plus green gel on the Diva lights, and he's going to cut it nice and smooth with a pair of scissors. Scissors are back there. And cut it big so it'll cover either the Diva or the RE650 Shimera.
We have C47, thank you.
What'd you call those things?
C47s.
What's a C47?
Basically, it's just like a laundry pen, except for you call it a C47 because you're in the film world and you have to be able to communicate. If you modify them and turn them around so that the smaller end is at the tip, then you'll have a C74, which is good for pulling gels off of hot lights or for making yourself look like a clown.
Another clamp. So let's see what this light looks like now with the fluorescence. It's
Looks
getting
white.
closer. That's a little bit closer. But still no cigar. We need more than an eighth.
So let's double it up?
Let's double it up.
Great. So if you're using 1/8 plus green, you can double, just create a double layer by folding it over, and then you'll have 1/4 plus green. Same thing applies to CTO or CTD or any other gel. You can always double it up and get basically a new gel. So if you're on a budget, you can actually buy 1/4 CTO, half CTO, half plus green, 1/4 plus green, anything, and be able to work with those to get the different color temperatures to match. So now we have 1/4 plus green. It looks to shift a little too green.
Let's try the iris a little bit. Can you actually move that gel in and out, kind of pop it in and out and see? Let's see the look of it.
Gel's on now.
Gel in, and then gel out again. Gel in, and then gel out again. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and go back to 12 decibels of gain so that we can just learn how to match up precisely with the overheads. So start dialing down that Diva.
Okay. Coming down.
Keep coming. Right there.
Set.
Okay. So that's now, take the gel, the green gel, in and out.
It's out.
And in.
It's in.
Okay. So with a minor post-color shift, the color temperature is a match. We made something like a 3 or 4% change in post. We achieved the same hue, but added our own key. Okay, so this is after the warm cards white balance, and we are here with the key light right there. And so we are still having the overheads as they are, but we actually are replacing the direction of the light right now with this Diva light. And as you can see now, that looks a lot better than it was before. So let's go ahead and turn on our first rim light up there. Yeah, go ahead. So that's our rim light. That's creating some nice highlights. Go ahead and hit the 150 first real quick. One more time. Stand by.
Striking.
Okay, that's our other rim light.
We're also using it to cut a significant amount of light off of the background.
So this is what the background is seeing. So that's seeing. So what we're doing is we're hiding it from the background a little bit like that. So do me a favor, pop it on and off again, just that other rim light right there.
The 150?
Yeah.
Striking.
House lights down.
Cool. Okay, so the image is now lit with only our studio instruments. We're not using any other lighting except for our tungstens and Divas. Okay, so we're going to preset 3200 degrees Kelvin. And let's iris up just a hair right there. There's a shadow on that monitor from the light. If I just move it, that shadow is going to go away so I can actually see the truth from now on.
Coming in and out.
Stand by. Okay, so now let's show the action of that floppy on the background. Okay, keep it in and out. Keep it going. Just swing it out and then swing it back in. And again. And again, in. Stand by. And then back in. Right there. All right. Okay, now instead of using a Diva as a key, we're going to use a tungsten 650 watt Fresnel through Shimera.
So here, you want to look at it and then give it to me by
Yeah.
eye?
Go with the Diva first.
Diva first?
Yeah. Come down a little bit. Right there.
Okay.
Come up a little bit. Up, right there. That's fine. So this is with the Diva light, and let's go ahead and switch live. We're going to switch the Diva off. Go ahead. And we're going to switch our tungsten light on. This is a 650 Fresnel going through Shimera.